The harmony system that is the foundation for Western popular music is based around so-called diatonic scales. And while there are many different possible diatonic scales, it's quite easy to describe what defines them. Diatonic scales is simply all the ways you can add and remove flats and sharps to the stem notes, as long as there is one and only one instance of each stem note. So a diatonic scale must contain A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you can then have flats and sharp on any of these notes. But you can never have two instances of the same stem note. So you cannot have an F and then an F sharp. In that case, the F sharp must be a G flat instead. So that is the definition of diatonic scale. And what does it mean in a real world situation? So what we got here, you see we have no flats and sharps. We have just stem notes from C to C, and above it we see this code, and we use a code based on Roman numbers from 1 to 7, and if this code has no flats and sharps, it indicates that it is a major scale, which you get if you play only the white keys from the note C up to the next C. So this code in itself tells us that this is a major scale, and it means that this second, that is a major second, it's a major third, it's a perfect fourth, it's a perfect fifth, it's a major sixth, and it's a major seventh. So it's easy to memorize the major scale. It's just perfect and major in intervals. So what we can do here to change this into another diatonic scale is to simply add some flats or sharps. So what we're going to do here first, we're going to try out going to the step 4, and which we know is a perfect fourth, and we are going to sharpen it so it becomes an augmented fourth, like that. And in doing so, we need to also change the code so it's reflected there. So this is the code for another diatonic scale that sounds like this. As opposed to so let's create another diatonic scale. We let's sharpen the fourth step once more, like that. So and then we add the that, and then let's flatten the seventh. So we get a minor seventh. So we also change the code. Like that, and it sounds like this. As opposed to so. But when dealing with diatonic scales, it gets really tedious to at all times describe each of the interval version that you are going to use. So the convention is that we divide diatonic scales into major scales and minor scales, and we then describe what alterations we make to the major or the minor scale. And so, as I said, the what we got here is a major scale, and it has no flats and sharps. The minor scale, what defines a scale as major or minor, is the distance to the first from the one note to the third. Whether this, if this is a major third, it's a major scale, and if it's a minor third, it's a minor scale. So a minor scale will have a minor third and a minor sixth and a minor seventh, like that. Something like that. So, and as you might imagine, there are a myriad of possibilities, but not all of them are all that musically interesting. So if we look at the history of Western music, there are 6 different scales that has stood out as the most popular ones, and these are the scales that are often referred to as the modes. And there are 3 major scales there, and there are 3 minor scales. So, and the first one is called the Ionian, and this is the major scale, as you see by this code. No flats and sharps. So, the Ionian is the real name of the major scale. And then there is the Lydian, which has a sharpened, an augmented fourth, but in every other sense it is a major scale. Sounds like this. That was the first one we tried out previously. And then the third major scale is the Mixolydian scale, which also basically is a major scale, but it has a minor seventh, flatted seventh there. So, so those were the major scales, the Ionian, the Lydian, and the Mixolydian. And then we're going to look at the minor scales. We have the Aeolian, which is the minor scale. You see the minor third, the minor sixth, and the minor seventh. Sounds like this. Then there is the Dorian mode, which is a minor scale, but it doesn't have the minor sixth. So it has a major sixth instead. Sounds like this. And then there is the Phrygian mode, which has a minor second, and apart from that, it is a minor scale. You have the minor third, the minor sixth, and the minor seventh. And it sounds like this. So, and those are the modes.